Quiet, please. In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
We need emotional content. I said emotional content, not anger. That's it. How did it feel to you? Let me think. Don't think. Feel.
And so, we're on the air. Let's see how the broadcast gets from the studio to your home. Of course, you don't hear the real sound over your home radio. What you hear is a translation of the sound. We want to make this wave stronger, so we amplify it. Here's the studio control.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Do you understand? Never take your eyes off your opponent, even when you bow.
What's up, my ninja? We are back with the Ring Clan Ninjas podcast. It's your boy, the Kaze Kage C-Win.
It's your boy, J-Win, a.k.a. J-Mac.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening last week. You know what I'm saying? This week,
Hold on, can I say something real quick?
Please do.
Man, appreciate all the love, all the supporters, everybody that shared it, everybody that listened to the podcast. Shout out to everybody because we coming on up in this podcast world. We're making a name for ourselves. Shout out to my boy Sosa.
Right.
He already know what he did for your boy. Hey, but just keep it lit.
Yeah, my little brother, man. I think he got music coming out pretty soon. I just dropped the a surprise album on your ass today or whatever. You DM us for links. You got to listen to the podcast to get these exclusive links. But it's Ninja NXNJA is out right now. We're going to go ahead and get into this thing real quick. So Jay.
What's up?
So it's a lot of craziness going on in the industry right now. You know, like today is September 13th. It is the let me do math real quick. It's kind of late. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. Let me see. It's the 22nd anniversary of Tupac's death.
Tupac.
Yeah, well, alleged death, and that nigga could be in Cuba for all I know. I don't be knowing.
Moment of silence for Pac death for everybody that actually grew up on his music. That's that moment.
That was a fast moment. Hell yeah. Yeah, one time for Pac, man. But you know, he influenced the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, undeniable. And as we look at, like, you've got Cardi B and Nicki Minaj going at it like some cats in the alley. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you think back to, you know, we grew up in that era with the East Coast, West Coast rivalry and everything, and the casualties that they came out of that, you know what I'm saying? Like you had Pac get shot, and then a few months later we lost the notorious B.I.G. We lost legends, you know, and not to say that that the type of patty cake type beefs they have nowadays will result in something similar. But man, there comes a point where you gotta get back to what's important, you know. So instead of choosing to focus on all that controversy, we wanna dedicate, you know, the cast a little bit to those fallen soldiers. We had Mac Miller pass within this past week. Legendary, you know. Two guys, and the interesting thing, Jay, you brought up what the hell? Oh, okay, that was the game. I was like, what the fuck was that? No,
yeah, you know, the whistle go off, you know what I mean? We had to have that sound effects on the side. You know, we coming up, I told y'all, we coming up.
Yeah, you playing that 2K right now, but we'll get to the games a little bit later, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you mentioned earlier how they were making some comparisons between Pac and Mac Miller, and before you heads get crazy.
Oh yeah, and they already finna jump down throats right now. As soon as you said the comparisons,
ain't nobody talking about Mac Miller about that thug. Like it's a good reason. Stick with us real quick. Go ahead and explain, Jay.
The reason why he said that and the reason why I said that is because Mac Miller got a catalog of music that he has not released. Like, he's been sitting on a $1 million record deal for over 3 to 4 years. So he's been making music, and his last album just came out last month. And it's been like a 4-year gap where he got over 20 different albums that he possibly could have dropped at any time with various artists. They say he got a whole album produced by Pharrell. Like, I'm interested to hear that. He got albums with Ab-Soul. He got albums with some of everybody, but he hasn't released it. And then, considering he didn't release it while he was alive, it'd be kind of like, would they be doing him bad if they released his music now because he's dead? Maybe he didn't want people to hear the music. I don't know. What do you think about that whole thing?
Now, like, it's always funny because we've had a lot of legends like just pass over the past few years. Like we've lost motherfuckers like Prince and Michael Jackson and Aretha more recently. People like this. And the thing that you see immediately following these passings, of course, is like the legal battles because like the estates are pretty much turned over to the families at that point. So just a little bit of music education. So like your family can inherit, your royalties. Like if you own, just like how you own property, things like that, your family can inherit your music if it's left in your will. You might want to be one of those assholes that like in your will you say don't let nobody have my shit buried with me or whatever. But now it's pretty much up to Mac's next of kin what happens with those records, and it's looking like they're
Can I intersect for a second?
Go ahead.
What's blessed about Mac Miller, not saying it's a good thing, but both of his parents are still alive. So I'm hoping that the majority of whatever goes on with him go back to his parents because that's who made him, you know what I mean? That's unfortunate that they lost their child at a young age, but it's just, at least his parents are alive, so the fight shouldn't be so aggressive, I feel. But, when money on the line, it ain't no telling how the lawyers and the label and if he have to pay the label back, and did he pay the label? Did he get that 10 mil back to the label? I don't know. I'm just, speculating. So, we just here talking right now.
Because just like you could leave assets behind, you could leave them debts too. So
exactly,
there's no telling like where he was with his obligations as far as that contract went. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how everything unfolds. But he wasn't exactly one of these types of dudes I would say was wrapped up in a lot of controversy and other things like that. So hopefully we won't see like the messy, like media shit that you may have with like families like the Jacksons and other ones who notoriously had that kind of stuff going on. And which brings me to my next question, / point. We talk legacy. Like as far as a legacy goes, what kind do you feel that Mac is leaving behind? Like
the legacy from my experience with Mac, I listen to his music. I like Mac. He's hip hop. He's one of those guys that like to keep it hip hop, and he evolved into making the R&B and all that stuff. But what Mac will be remembered by the most, I feel, for his humbleness. Like, that's what everybody is so sad about, is how nice and genuine this guy was to be passing away. Mm-hmm. Because they feel like it wasn't a better person in the world than Mac Miller from what everybody is saying about him. Like, he was a really awesome person. So his legacy is, just his music gonna speak for itself. Because like I was speaking earlier, he got over 20 albums that he hasn't released yet. So, we might we might know more about Mac Miller after he died than before, while he was here. And that's crazy to say, but
Yeah, I mean, that's a sad thought in and of itself, because, they always have that saying where, why we give flowers at the funeral or whatever, because regret is stronger than love. And so it's like, it's some people who have never or will never receive flowers in their lifetime until their funeral, So we gotta be sure to give people flowers while they still here, you know what I'm saying? And so transitioning, so when you talk about rappers who pass, Tupac, his legacy was undeniable. For those of you too young to remember, Tupac was shot 4 times. It was September 6th, September 6th, 1996. And then allegedly passed 7 days later, on the 13th. So, so there was a lot of conspiracy and controversy surrounding that whole situation. Unlike with Big situation, there was all kind of funny things that happened around there. Like nobody really got to see him in the hospital after that happened. They were supposed to broadcast his funeral, among other things, and all this magically got canceled. So there was just a lot of stuff around that left people to speculate whether or not dude was even actually dead. Because, I mean, if anybody was going to do it, if anybody in the game could pull it off, it'd be Tupac.
Yes.
The one dude that was sitting in jail reading a book about faking your death.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, exactly. So, goes to show. Legacies, man. What are you leaving behind? What are you doing for the world? What are you doing for this society?
I mean, I know a lot of dudes, they get off on the whole thug life idea, but at the end of the day, Pac was one of these guys that built a movement, and then we were talking a little bit earlier about how the debate about who's the better rapper and all these things. And then, like we were saying earlier, like there's certain factors that come into play. Like you have to assess what it is. Because like I like Pac and Big for entirely different reasons. Like I grew up more so on the Pac side of things.
Right.
And, and came to appreciate Big more later on. But then I like him for entirely different reasons. Like if I want to hear some real shit that with some feelings, or whatever else, then, I'm going to go to Pac. But then if I want to hear somebody say some slick shit or spit some game, what I'm saying, that's Big. And so you have the type of listeners out there. Not everybody is the well-rounded type of listener that, has ears for everything. Like you have some people that all they listen to is a hustle rap or reality rap. You have some of those that only like the characters and things like that. And so there's an audience for everybody at the end of the day. But I just like to keep like an objective kind of view on these things so I can appreciate things for what they are. You know what I mean?
Right. Same way here.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead get into our next segment. Cause I know you people have things to do. Wrong. You want to sit here and listen to this Wear and Clan all day long. I know you do, baby. All right, so I think this is a perfect time to see what's up. Jay with the games.
Oh, Jay with them games, man. So this week, I'm actually playing 2K while we're doing this, but shout out 2K. You already know about that if you like it. But game that I've been intrigued with since Super Nintendo days, Dragon Quest. I mean, Square Enix, one of their original titles that helped them get to where they are now. So, what can I say about Dragon Quest 11? And I can say that over 100 hours of gameplay, first and foremost, but for them people that's tired of them games that you can beat in a week.
Spider-Man.
Oh, man, shots fired, boom, boom, everybody gonna want their money back, wait for the downloadable content. But Dragon Quest, man, the thing about it though, the thing about it is your traditional RPG where basically it's turn-based, where you pick the attacks, you level up, and blase, 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 blase. And that's where you probably would think of the flack will get. But if you one of those people like me that enjoy a good gameplay, just a good game and a good story and a good environment and a good character design, good music and all that, you're going to enjoy this game. And not to mention, for all you Dragon Ball Z heads, Akira Toriyama designed every character himself. So, I mean, you can see a lot of similarities in some of these characters. Like, one of the main characters actually looked like Super Saiyan Blue Goku with the hair. So, it's crazy. So, if you're one of those people like me that just nostalgic and love retro games and them still having a legacy for 10 years and 20 years, you need to pick up that Dragon Quest XI.
Oh, yeah. A shout out to Akira Toriyama taking the reins back over at Bird Studios. I won't even get into the anime. I won't get into the anime because, like, this dude at the end of the day, he's a legendary manga artist. You know, I've been a fan of Akira Toriyama. Like, of course, they consider Dragon Ball series the gateway drug, you know what I mean? But then, I went back and I checked out like Dr. Slump and of course and then I just found like the actual comics, like they just had like a certain funk to them that they don't always translate it to the anime, because you gotta keep in mind too, like Dragon Ball series, like these shits jumped off in like the 80s, so it's like animation was what it was back then. And then even though like you had some of the more beautiful animation in like Dragon Ball series and early Dragon Ball Z, but and the good storytelling, things like that, and of course it became so popular. And then you know what happens with series after they get a little popularity, you know what I'm saying? They want to keep up with the trends and change things like this, and you know, and then there's money involved. But as far as like the pure roots of it, like dude has a unique style. I know people like to try to compare, you know, Toriyama and the Dragon Ball series and shit like this. They like to try to compare it to other animes. But what you have to remember too, he had that I believe he did Manzai style manga. Like you had basically two different styles. You had like the stuff that was a little more serious, but then you had like the gag type stuff that was intended to be funny. And then that's where he started out with the Dr. Slump. And so a lot of that same comedy and wackiness is basically translated over into the original Dragon Ball series, and then he started getting to the martial arts. And so by the time you get to Z, that's when they wanted to do a serious version. So you have a lot of animes that do something similar to that. Like for instance, the Z equivalent would be Shippuden in Naruto, where you have like the initial version of the initial storyline, and then you got the serious storyline that comes through it, where they progress like a little ways into the future. The characters get a little older. They may have kids of their own. Speaking of which, you know, a series I always felt did a very interesting take on that.
What's that?
JoJo. Hey, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like those series, because that tripped me out that he had like 3 whole generations that they went through in that series. Like I'm like, oh damn, it's over already. But then the very next episode, you jump to his like either son or grandson or whoever else, and that was nuts. Like entire stories, like back to back, that feed into each other. And I always thought that was pretty cool. Man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I enjoyed it too.
Empires, and it was crazy. It took a long time to finally sit down and watch that joint, but that's it. The only reason I knew about that was because of the game they put out. What was that on? Was it Dreamcast or GameCube way back when?
Yeah, it was
a long time ago. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It look Trill. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I want to see what that's about.
All right.
Yeah, man, they had a fighting game and everything. Speaking of fights and conflicts, before we get into our fight, what is going on with Serena?
Man, yeah, just keep it 100 with people. I guess she feeling disrespected by what people are saying to her, and she feel like she have to lash out. Or maybe, I don't want to get into the controversy, or maybe she just being blackballed. Maybe they tired of seeing her being at the top for so long, and they just, want to just see somebody else.
Yeah, just to give you guys a little bit of background, they're spreading a little bit of controversy because of Serena's outburst at one of the judge or whatever the fuck they call him in tennis, but dude was calling her out on some bullshit call or whatever, and she finally just like kind of snapped on him a little bit, and so do you feel like they've been kind of targeting her and bullying her a little bit there, or?
I was speaking on earlier, the whole catsuit thing. She wore a tennis outfit, and they felt like it was too revealing for her. So all tennis stuff is kind of skimpy attire. If you just got more of it, I guess it'll look a lot more appealing. I guess if you're looking at it that way, I guess. So
Yeah, cause some of you may not know this, but I'm actually like a certified Qigong and Tai Chi instructor. So I used to always instruct at like these little country clubs and stuff. I probably couldn't have gotten into any other way for obvious reasons. But and I just kind of look like, you got these women, these tennis women, they running around in like these little ass skirts and whatever else, and and then I guess the only reason that it looked appropriate on them was because they ain't have no ass.
I don't want to keep it that clear cut, but hey, you're right. They ain't have no ass.
It look like an IHOP around there, just pancake ass all over the place, and then you get this big booty Serena out here. They've been trying to figure out a way to defeat this big booty Serena for years, like over a decade.
Yeah, really.
And I think they're just getting to this point where they want that new hotness to come in and take them down, take them out. And so not to say that she wasn't in the wrong here, there, whatever else, but then you can kind of see where you had this sport that didn't really want them there to begin with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then now it's getting to that point where they're like, okay, well, we've had fun. It was a nice run. Now we're done. So I don't know, but I don't know. So Serena, I think she's finally gotten to her boiling point, where it's just like there's no tell like this. This is just like the outburst we saw. Like, God knows how much stuff that they have to endure. I know, you've heard about how when they go overseas, and in some cases, you'd have people like calling them all kind of niggas and everything else. They had to work through that, and then, they became champions, because pressure builds diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Kites fly higher against the wind than flying with it. You know what I'm saying? So there's no telling how much she's been holding in, and to the point where they finally just like snap. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, true fact.
Well,
can't judge somebody off of one little mishap, or even if it is, it's not even really that serious. People yell at the refs all the time in other sports, so this is what it is. Why is such a big speculation when it's Serena?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, still, I don't know why I got your threshold so high on this damn. Like, if you didn't know, like, it's still early. Like, we ain't super balling with the podcast yet, so I got to do all the engineering and shit while we doing it. In case you hadn't noticed, now we got two mics.
Two of them
motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So we sounding good now, and I can do all kind of tricks and stuff with it. We ain't got nobody to thank for that, but Sosa, my little brother. So God bless you, Sosa.
All right, Cuzzo. Shout out to you.
All right. So it is time for everybody's favorite fight. So if you're just now tuning in and you ain't been hanging with us, fight is where we take a character or just anybody really, and then we pit him in a death battle against another character or individual. This week it was my turn to pick somebody, and for Jay to pick an opponent. So I chose from the follow-up, the sequel to the Kinnikuman saga. You got the legendary Kid Muscle from Ultimate Muscle. Right, and then who's he battling against, Jay?
Man, no other than the nature boy himself, Ric Flair. Woo!
Kid Muscle versus Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Oh my Jesus! What did we come up with?
What's going on here? All right, so the wrestling league that Kid Muscle is notoriously a part of, purchased by Vince McMahon.
That's right.
All right, because Vince got to pay.
Yeah, Vince always got to pay.
You know what I'm saying? And so naturally, that means that all of their franchise, favorites are now being brought over. So, you got all your Kid Muscles. You got your Kevin Mask. You got Wally Tuskin. You got all the favorites that are now part of this huge new WW Federation. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Miss Your Cheeks.
Miss Your Cheeks. You know what I'm saying? So you got more ass in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And so, you're getting down to your championship match. You know what I'm saying? Ultimate Muscle notorious for, the soap opera that happens in the background where you got the drama between the heroes and the villains. And with new mergers come new rivalries.
That's right.
And so Kid Muscle, he try to keep it humble and whatnot. But there's this belligerent motherfucker in the background talking shit.
So much shit.
In all his matches. And the spotlight goes over to the crowd, and lo and behold, it's none other than Nature Boy Ric Flair. And he comes down through the crowd, comes into the ring, strutting, talking that good shit, take the mic,
snatch
that mic, and then he ready to throw down. All right, so how does this play out? What? Let's lay some foundation. Right? So what we dealing with today?
Man, we dealing with the dirtiest wrestler of all time, Ric Flair, against possibly the most.
Pull it out your ass.
Yeah, but considering the danger factors, the Kid Muscle really pulled this off because Ric Flair is a threat, but will his 30 tactics be enough?
Yeah, so we got a situation. Okay, so you got Kid Muscle,
right?
Who has the power of Ultimate Muscle. It took a lot of work for him to finally unleash that. You know what I'm saying? So you had a bitch ass nigga in the beginning of it where, you know what I'm saying, he always hoe up and couldn't come through. But then eventually he just became that dude, you know what I'm saying, and start following his father's legacy. Then you got the trickster. Ric Flair don't play fair. You know what I'm saying? Let me do that again. Ric Flair don't play fair. That was a tongue twister.
Yeah, it was. Them bars though.
Woo! And so you pretty much got one of these like Batman and Joker type situations. Like, I don't know if the Joker can necessarily fight. He probably got a little more trill later on. But that nigga always had a trick up his sleeve.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he been hanging with the best of them. So would Ric Flair's trickery be enough if Kid Muscle catch him with one of these Knickle Busters or...
Oh no. Oh, it's over. Ric Flair can hope that he can do some type of trick and hopefully put him in that figure four and submit Kid Muscle. Other than that, oh my goodness, he's not surviving an attack of. He's not surviving that slam. It's over with.
He ain't gonna survive this.
I mean, not in the realms of dying, but in the realms of wrestling. He's 1, 2, 3. He counted out. You know, it's over with.
He died.
He's pinned. Yeah, he's pinned down.
Because Ultimate Muscle Boy, they take you to the ceiling, so if he come down, he gonna get that Owen Hart R.I.P.
Oh man.
Hey, still too soon. When we like in middle school.
Oh man, hey, that holds a dear part of my heart because we ordered that pay-per-view and I didn't think it was real. I didn't think it was real.
I couldn't believe that shit. That was whoa.
But the thing about it, he had to keep making that money. Vince McMahon, your old dog.
He had to keep it going, like you know that pretty much that argument that wrestling that wasn't real. It got really real, like real quick, like right then. But so can we go ahead and say this fight goes to Kid Muscle?
Oh, without a doubt.
All right, Ultimate Muscle prevails again. Sorry, Rick.
Ooh. I'm in his limousine driving ass.
I used to just wait for this man to say nigga. Like I knew it was coming. Like he used to talk that country boy shit.
But I like the guy. I like Ric Flair. One of my favorite entertainers of all time.
Like he knew where the line was. He didn't cross. He wasn't like Agent Orange up there in office. He knew where the line was. He came over there. He held his dick over it, but he never crossed the line. Never crossed that line. All right, so hey yo Jay,
what's up?
You know, I don't see nothing wrong with little ninja bars.
With little ninja bars. That song has been in the mind all night, right?
Ninja bar. Which we will get back to after we throw it to the legendary Dojo DJ, Groove Sensei, who's gonna hit you with that new hotness. Take it away.
I would like to introduce.
It's a smash hit. Baby.
Hey, what's going on, Wing Clan Ninjas? This is Groove Sensei, broadcasting live from Radio WIND. And I'm gonna take a break from dodging asteroids to bring you that new hotness from across the galaxy. We got this joint, Killish, by Kill Switch, featuring Roy Visions. You can follow them on Instagram, Roy Visions, that's ROIVISIONS, and Kill Switch the Don, KILLSWITCHDADON.
Sky's on the track, whoa! Down! Let me get it down!
100K around my wrist, neck still match my fit. Think I won't steal your bitch snatch. I don't give no fuck, I don't give no shit. I'm known for killing shit. Don't make me flip the switch. Don't make me flip the switch. 100K around my wrist, neck still match my fit. Think I won't steal your bitch snatch. I don't give no fuck, I don't give no shit. I'm known for killing shit. Don't make me flip the switch. Don't make me flip the switch. Bad bitches, I got all that. Come in the bitch like I run that. Like who that there? Fuck around and beat your blue black. I'm the truth, niggas better learn that. Want money and power, bitch, earn that. Put the burner to you like a perm, bitch. I'm killing these hoes.
Niggas been ducking my shells, making for Raphael. All the way up from my neck, this niggas been feeling my hell. Beat the pussy till it's crying for help.
Help!
Dive in and now I'm trying to myself.
South.
Beat it up and then I put it on shelf.
These hoes don't make up and feeling myself. Bad, bitch, I'm fresher than ever. King of this shit, how the fuck could you tell? Know I'm the shit, know you can smell. All the swag on me, yeah, you know I'm the shit. Bruce Lee couldn't fuck with the kid. Check out the way that they hit. Check out the way that I spit.
Moonwalking got me feeling like Luke. Neon guts turn the car into low. Push the gas until they go in the loop. Hope I don't crash into you.
Fiercely fast, smash on the gas and I dash. Zooming right by your ass, they got me get bad. Polo stepping up the swag. Check out the ice and I dash. 100K around my wrist, neck, still match my fit. Think I won't steal your bitch, snatch. I don't give no fuck, no. I don't give no shit. Bet I'm known for killing shit. Bet don't make me flip the switch. Don't make me flip the switch. 100K around my wrist, neck, still match my fit. Think I won't steal your bitch, snatch. I don't give no fuck, no. I don't give no shit. Bet I'm known for killing shit. Bet don't make me flip the switch. Don't make me flip the switch.
Oh shit, I guess he back again. Tell a friend, she should tell a friend. The menage a trois is what's happening. Just tell your friend not to tell a man. Cause she be getting Freaky Friday. Set the soul out, switching bodies. But this dicky big, Chris Brown a pussy.
That's a thought behind me when I kill a pussy. Coming again like I own that. Goes in your head like a snapback. Realest nigga, you just have that. I put it in words, you just have ass. Know to take a nigga off the map. Can find a nigga like a Google map. Shoot him down.
Silencer, not a sound. Hold on, I gotta stable at home. The man on the moon when I'm all in my zone. Cuddy, I guess we ain't kids no more. Pushing the teeth till I'm bit like cones. Now that's good music. She see the 2 chains, now she choosing. Keep up, don't lose it. The way the chains spinning, confusion.
Ride or die, the fuck is you choose? You live a lie, the fuck is you prove? I was born a lion, a king, and I knew. Leave it with scars, eternal bruising. Kill switch, yeah, he do it. All gas, ain't no losing. Kill Roy, what we do?
My nigga don't know about you, but I got
100K around my wrist, neck, still match my fit. Think I won't steal your bitch, snatch. I don't give no fuck, no. I don't give no shit. I'm known for killing shit. Don't make me flip the switch. Don't make me flip the switch. 100K around my wrist, neck, still match my fit. Think I won't steal your bitch, snatch. I don't give no fuck, no. I don't give no shit. I'm known for killing shit. Don't make me flip the switch. Don't make me flip the switch.
All right. That's a new hotness. We back. If you just now tuning in with us all the way at the fucking end, this is the Win Clan Ninjas podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now I believe it's time for some Ninja Boys.
Oh.
Ninja Boys. All right. So like we normally do around this time, I'm going to go ahead. Reach into the bag. Let's see what kind of beat we have in here. Let's see. I think we did some kind of laid back last time, so I think we'll do something funky. Co-starring President Trump. Let me see what this is right here.
And you can tell them to go themselves.
You see, Win and Jay in the place to be. Yeah, you already in the MAC. You know how we do, you know how we get down. We were here in the Mac town. Keep it spinning just like James Brown. Yeah, everybody loves the sound. When we getting funky, when we on the track, then we gonna rewind that back. Let me go and take you back to 96 when I fucked this bitch. Big old dick. I may have only been in 3rd grade, but she still said she liked my face. She liked the way that I got down.
Yeah.
So she made me drown in that P to the U to the SSY. Why? Because I got to take it.
Yo, but I gotta like Nikes, got a fresh check, cause they know I gotta like me. Yo, but I'ma jab at the beat, just testing my opponent to see the surroundings. See where your head's at, see where your hands at. Understand the battle, it's more mental. Understand that we going through, and we don't know how we gonna push it through. Bounce back down, simple as flow. Come and let you know that we coming through the door. It don't matter if you got guns or not, we coming with our swords on our back like that. Jumping on them donkeys, no Shreks around us, can't be a hunky. Hey, shout out to my white folks, cause my girl white too. I love y'all.
Yeah, left, right, up and down. That's what I like to see. Everybody want to be the dub by into the D. Win Clan shit. You know how we get in this bitch with that ninja flair. Make you go woo in here. Goddamn, we doing what we gotta to come through and make it real hotter. And if you ain't down with this, you can go and suck my dick. And you can go and lick the nuts. Dirty sluts. Our boy head a bust on your butts. I don't care. Goddamn, why you got so much hair way down there? You need to shave. Goddamn, let's go to a rave. That's hosted by my nigga B3. You can't see me. You need to go out about this fucking CD. the new Ninja tape. That shit sounds sick like rap. But on top, that shit right there, grapes is all I eat. I need nutrition. I need these bitches. Yeah, they be swishing in them booty shorts. I'm about to pass this shit, of course.
Yo, but we back, Jake in. Don't even know how we got in. Back though, probably got a couple bounces slip in. Cause the way we do creep in. Real ninja shit, you don't know. Sneaking through the back door in the rodeo. Got these motherfuckers going waiting in the door. But I don't really know what I'm saying no more. Kinda high off life way I really do it. Don't really care, we real stupid. Ayy, with a new flow coming at y'all. Nigga, new style, ayy.
With the electric sound. Something like digital underground, but I don't humpty hump unless you got a big fat rump. Yeah, let me go ahead, pump, and tell you how we get down around here. We get up to get down. That's that sound that you get from the wind. And when I get done, I'ma do it again. Freestyling, I don't need no pen. Fuck you, dog. You ain't no men. You some mice, fucking mouses. In our houses, might just douse you with a little acid, burn you alive. You can't fuck with me, I don't jive. Got some 70s talk for your ass. Yeah, you need to go back to class and learn who you is fucking with. I'ma come and fuck your bitch. If you try to mess with us, Jay is Chris. Leave here with the slit wrist like the mummy on the Eminem CD. Burning you up like VD. You need to go and get your PP check and then get a PP check.
Woo! Crazy ass styles like that. Like just that. Fucking around. Crazy ass styles like that.
Like that. Oh shit. Yo, we back. This has been Ric Flair Ninjas Podcast. I'm C-Win.
And I'm J-Win.
And we signing out. Check us out next week. Make sure that you follow us. Make sure you subscribe, download that podcast. Keep on sharing it. Ninja was no longer the mixtape. Ninja album is out now.
Check it out. Hot.
Hit us up. All right. Peace.